kind of just a fun technique. It's very inexpensive to do. You do want a prepped base to put it on because I'm going to use grout line tape, and when you pull the grout line tape, you'll see whatever's underneath it. So you guys can go over a sample from yesterday that you don't like, or you can just go over the MDF understanding the look you're going to get, and then you could have poured epoxy as a base. Does that make sense? So, yeah. I mark here, but I'm marking off about 1/4 of an inch because I don't want to put my tape right on top of that mark, or you're going to pull your tape and see the mark. I did a whole driveway. I marked it all on Sharpie, did an awesome brick pattern with our outdoor super tracks. It was really decorative. We pulled all our tape and we had little black Sharpie marks we were trying to hide forever. So it was really frustrating. So I'm going to go off by about 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm just going to offset my tape just to one side or the other, and always the same side, so that you have proper spacing here. So you tile guys will like this. You can make your tile line wherever you want it. So. Always leave a tail off the end and do not tuck it under. Don't tuck. Don't tuck it. I won't judge, but please not in this class. Do one. I don't want more than that, but I would like one little joint where your plank ends and starts a new plank, just to practice. But I don't want more than one, and I don't want anything complex, because usually people try to make a Star of David here and they can't do anything, and then it looks like a big blob of shit. So this here is your wall epoxy. If you notice, it's like peanut butter. It's non-sag. I'm going to mix this generally with our mica powders today. We're going to mix it with a liquid pigment, which will affect the viscosity. If you dump a whole bunch of mica powder in here, obviously that's the powder. It kind of dries it up, makes it a little. I still like troweling it, but if you're not used to troweling, you're going to struggle with it a little bit. So with the liquid pigment we have today, you guys will trowel it pretty easily. These all come totally ready, pre-mixed. You can mix directly in this container. There's enough volume in here to do so. So, thank you, Monica. Remember, this still has a pot life. It's an epoxy, so this still has the same exothermic reaction, everything, even though it's a different ratio. This is 2 parts A to 1 part B. It's not by weight. Everything we measure is always by volume, so just always remember that. So never try to measure something by weight and expect to get a good measurement, because our resins, the basic resin we have here, our average resin is around 12 pounds per gallon, 11 point something. Our average hardener is 8 or 9 pounds per gallon. So you'd be very off ratio if you measured by weight. And I have had customers tell me, I know your epoxy is bad because I measured by weight accurately, exactly how the instructions say. I'm like, not our instructions. So I'm usually way whiter than that. So best way to mix this is between your legs. So squeeze it. Don't be that lady in class that wouldn't listen and then she watered the classroom and spun it with a drill. It's just about like peanut butter consistency in here. And I'm not mixing for time. I'm mixing for probably a minimum of 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes for consistency. A lot of people, when they go to their stick mix, They literally try to mix the epoxy. That drill is way more efficient at mixing it than your stick. The stick is made more for scraping the resin off the side and the bottom of the pail. So you kind of really want to scrape it around there. That is where I see frustration with this wall epoxy, is people are lazy and they just mix a little bit because they just don't really think about what they're doing, and then they'll have unmixed A or B. And sometimes, I mean, it's like peanut butter, so taking that stick and scraping it across the bottom of the bucket might not be the easiest thing somebody's done, but most of the failures I see, when I really ask a contractor, why didn't you get into the corner? Why didn't you tape this? It's always, oh, it was really hard. But when did being difficult have anything to do with success? So that's my big pet peeve. Don't put too much down, guys. Too much of this will literally ruin your job, I promise you. Now, I'm actually gonna use the tape as my gauge for thickness. Does that make sense? Do you see across that piece? I don't have too much product on, right? But you can actually just see my tape exposed, right? If you can just see your tape, you're perfect on that thickness. And the best thing with excess, guys, is to swipe it off and wipe it onto your table or something. And try not to pick up debris off your table and then trowel it back in, or you'll have streak marks and everything, if that makes sense. My kids are half Irish, half Mexican, so they punch holes in walls, but they know how to patch them.
Yes. Because we don't want mom to find out.
Dude, my little boy, like his head went through the wall the other day. I came home, I was like, it's the biggest hole I ever saw. We were wrestling. Glad you didn't hit the stud. Would have been funny, but.
I broken the kicked door open. My brothers were making fun of me, so I chased after him and I kicked the door and I broke the hinge. So then mom was at work, so then I went over there and started patching it up, fixing it. I was 13 when I did that.
Only a Mexican kid at 13 knows how to patch the wall he damaged. Me, I was a white kid, like, here goes a picture. Dad's gonna wonder where this picture came from in an awkward spot.
I was almost 30 by the time my mom
When you guys finish that, we're gonna take our wood grain tool, and I know some of you guys are still just waiting on a knife or whatever, which is fine. I take this wood grain tool here, and if you notice there's a pattern across the bottom stamped into it, right? You don't roll this, you slide it. And if you want the grain to change, as you're sliding it, you can slightly rock it. But I mean slightly. And what I usually see in this class is a whole bunch of shit because you guys try to rock the knife all the way down there. Don't do that. Slide all the way across and try to keep it pretty straight on your first plank and see the look you're getting. Then on your second plank, maybe try going across and creating a slight rock back and forth one time in it. And you'll get like a knot or a keyhole in the wood grain, and it'll look really cool. You want to go slow enough. It's not pressure, it's speed. You want to just get nice steady pressure on it and then drag it at a speed to where it goes all the way down to the base and exposes that color underneath. And you're going to see it's not going to be beautiful right now because we have to spray it to get our look, and then we'll swipe it off. Whoop, I got pretty wavy there, sorry about that. Like I say, this is only the shape. The looks will come from the spray. And if you notice, I'm dragging it all the way across this door and I'm still barely rocking it. So don't rock your knife back and forth too much or you'll actually lose what you're trying to do. When you come to a joint in your tape, stop just past it and then start at a different point on your tool so you can obviously tell that that's a different plank, if that makes sense. She knows. She's been in a few classes.
Yeah.
I always say she hasn't because she doesn't listen sometimes, but Kelsey's gonna prove that if you try hard enough and come to enough classes, you just might learn something. Might not. Remember, too much product is a bad thing, guys. I'm going to move on to spraying, and now is where it actually starts looking really cool in my opinion. So I am going to spray some trans green because translucent colors pop the most on a really dark background. I know some of you guys are still working and that's fine. I'm going to do this ahead of you guys and then I'll reiterate what I'm doing and then I'm going to come and help you guys. This is not to be sprayed lightly. You can really saturate this for the look we're getting right now. All right, I'm gonna spray a minimum of 2 colors, and like I say, I'm gonna saturate it. I'm not trying to spray lightly here. I'm gonna take my trowel here. A lot of trowels have kind of a belly. They're curved one way or the other, if that makes sense. And you don't want to have the tips of your trowel digging down into the surface, if that makes sense. You want it to be either perfectly flat or preferably a tiny bit of a belly down into the piece. Now, don't apply a ton of pressure. You'd rather swipe this more than once, but now if you see this, instead of having to wait till tomorrow and sand it, I'm able to swipe straight across the top, exposing that color underneath, which is the epoxy we troweled down at first, if that makes sense, and then making our wood grain pattern. Does that make sense, guys? Just a nice, easy, if you notice, I'm not trying to pull all the color at one time, if that makes sense. Just take your time and be very patient with this. And if you notice, I'm just letting it rest. I'm not putting any pressure. I'm just letting it rest on that tape. The same way we let the trowel rest on that tape to gauge our thickness, we're letting it rest on that tape now just to get this look. So I'm not pressing, I'm just barely coming across the top, trying to expose that black wood grain. And this was my idea to try to make a wood grain pattern, and it turns out okay, but I'm sure you guys will have some way better ideas in the future. So And if you want to, you can carefully hit your sides if you have something tall. But remember, you'd apply a lot less pressure there because it's easy to accidentally burnish through it. So now if you were to pull your wood grain right now, if you were to pull your filament tape to get your plank pattern right now, a lot of that alcohol is gonna seep down underneath. If you wanna have really clean, crisp joints, you would wanna wait till all the alcohol evaporated and pull it then. So I'll pull mine now, and I'm sure somebody else will wait, and you can see the contrast of pulling it now versus later, if that makes any sense to you. Does that make sense? So if I pull it now, you're gonna see a lot of the alcohol seep down underneath, and you won't have as crisp of a line there. You could even pull this prior to spraying, and you'll have a really subdued plank pattern, because remember, you're gonna have to swipe it, and that kind of pushes that plank pattern together, but you still see individual planks just without really a space between them. So it gives you kind of a look without any texture.